Good morning. This is Peter Combs from Bidamount.com and P.L. Combs Asian Antiques. We're located in Gloucester, Massachusetts. As many of you know, we are pretty active eBay sellers, and we run this site focused on uh, the, the better of the eBay sellers who handle Chinese and Asian works of art on there who live around the world. And I thought today would be a good chance to go and do a quick video on how to write a good eBay listing if you sell Chinese and Asian works of art. These rules that we're going to show you also apply to other areas of antiques, but are particularly pertinent to Chinese and Asian. So let's get started. Okay. First thing I want you to understand, if you don't know this already, is that eBay is an extremely efficient market if you use it properly. It's a tool, and it's a very powerful tool. And if you follow the basic rules on preparing your listings, you will see fabulous results once you understand how eBay functions. All right. And we're going to go through some of the classic mistakes that people make. If you're selling things on eBay right now and you're not getting the results you want, or if you're thinking about starting, these are the pitfalls. Listing things in the wrong categories. All right. I know that sounds odd, that sounds silly, but I can't tell you how many times we've run searches for things for Chinese vases, and in the listing come up Chinese bowls. Or we're looking for blue and white, and up comes a listing for a familial rose vase. Okay? No. Make sure if it's a vase, you put it in the vase category. If it's a bowl, put it in the bowl category. All right? Very simple. Pay attention to photos. All right? I can't emphasize that enough. Learn to take really good photos. Poor titles, okay? Make sure your title accurately reflects the item that you're selling. Descriptions. Okay, you can go back and read all this later. I'll put the link on this post for this blog. Um, write good descriptions. Do not write a college paper, okay? Do not pontificate, all right? If you can't fit your entire description into 4 or 5 sentences in a single paragraph, find a way to do it or have somebody write it for you. Buyers on eBay will not sit and read your opinion and a long-winded explanation of what something is unless it's extraordinarily rare and you're a terribly good writer. Okay? Shipping. Okay? Oh yeah, templates. Don't use fancy templates. Okay? Keep your templates incredibly simple. If you don't know how to go about doing that, use a site like InkFrog or Activa. They have them. And I'll show you the one we use. This is one of our listings that's closed this month. And if you scroll down the page, first thing they see is a nice big picture of the item. And then you see all the other pictures we included. All of these go to the piece. There's a picture of the foot, the bottom, nice and clear, lots of details. And here's our description. That's it. A fine 19th century Chinese cobalt blue and white Daosai enamel food or offering bowl, flanking wire handles, la 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 la. Size, right there. Condition, good. And make sure when you fill out your condition reports, and a lot of sellers don't do it, and it exposes them to returns with no right to complain. If you do not fill in item condition at the top, right there, if you don't fill this in, if the buyer has any complaints at all about the condition, eBay will rule in their favor 100% of the time, even if you put in there see description below. All right? This is where your condition report has to go. You can repeat it down here if you want to. All right? Also include, if you can do this on InkFrog, you can include images of your other listings that are currently online this week. So if somebody comes across the offering bowl, they can also see that you have other things, and they will spend some time browsing your listings. These photos are extremely helpful. And then as far as your conditions and terms, there it is. Very simple. Very simple. All right. Very short. Do not write very long-winded conditions and what you're going to do if they don't pay their bill and all that. Keep it brief. Keep it simple. All right. Now back to the list here. The next thing is shipping limitations. Okay, up here. If you're selling Chinese antiques, Asian antiques, and you don't ship to China, you're losing about 40 cents on the dollar. All right, for 2 reasons. While the buyer in China may not end up being a Chinese buyer, He may be an American buyer, but I'll guarantee you the folks in China will underbid and push up your prices. All right. And if you're not going to bother shipping, globally, um, you're really hurting yourself. Okay. There are countries you shouldn't ship to, and you can eliminate them. You don't want to ship to Kazakhstan right now, or Iraq, or any place in the Middle East for that matter. But that's just common sense. Auction durations and timing. All right. We only do 10-day auctions, and we only start our auctions on Thursday nights, sometimes Friday. High reserves and minimums. Don't kill your piece by putting a high reserve or saying unreserved auction. Opening bid $1,000. No, that's a lie. Your reserve is $1,000, okay? Because that's your opening bid. A true unreserved auction on eBay starts at 10, $20 with no reserve under it, okay? Some dealers have to use them because they pay a lot and they get a little nervous. I understand that, but if possible, use a low opening bid and no reserve, okay? All right, you will build up a rapid following that way, and in the end, you'll make a lot more money, okay? Payments and return policies. This comes up a lot. One, you have to accept PayPal, okay? And two, you have to accept returns. And you cannot put in your listing that you do not accept returns and expect to get away with it. If a buyer buys something and they file a complaint with eBay and they want to return it, they're going to return it. And eBay doesn't care what your stated policy is. You're going to waste your time calling them to complain about it. Doesn't matter. If the buyer wants to send something back on eBay, they can send it back. So don't put no returns, all right? Say returns accepted. It's hard to say, I realize, but do it. It increases buyer confidence, believe me, all right? All right. And then let's get down here to this. This is a little bit more on how to create a good listing, okay? This was a vase we had, and it was listed in this category. That's how the category should look. Vases, right? Here's the title of this. Very simple. 19th century Chinese blue and white vase with blossoming flowers. Nice and easy, and eBay searches will find this and make the most of it and bring you customers. This kind of title is for amateurs. Old Chinese vase made for a palace, museum quality, okay? It says a couple of things. One, you don't know how to date Chinese porcelain, therefore how would you know it was made for a palace, and how could it possibly be museum quality? You only think it's old, okay? Don't pontificate in your descriptions. Don't write college theses. All right, keep it simple. This is all we said about this vase. It did very well. Brought about $1,000, which was quite good for one of these. That's it. Really simple. Now, on equipment. All right, this. If you don't have one of these swivel arm magnifiers or something like it, get one, because you're going to need to do very careful condition reports. And I guarantee you, if you sell an item to a buyer in China, all those guys have these lights and a lot more to look for and find flaws. They have enormously bright lights. They have multiple magnifiers, and they will scour your item to death, making sure it's exactly what you described. And if they find a flaw in it that you didn't disclose, they will come back to you 9 times out of 10 and expect either a significant refund or want to return the whole piece. Okay. So, and you'll pay the shipping on the return. So make sure you get one of these lights. They've saved us a fortune over the years. We have a number of them here in the office, in addition to magnifying glasses and bright lights. All right. Dimensions. Make sure you include the dimensions of everything. All right. I've lost track of how many wonderful things I've seen, and you don't know whether the vase is 9 inches tall or 19 inches tall. All right. A little bit about photos and gear. Okay. First thing. Buy a tripod, okay? Don't freehand your pictures, all right? Buy a tripod. Slick is a very good company. They make them. They run about $40. Make sure you get one. As far as lighting equipment goes, we use Alzo. Alzo Digital is located in Connecticut. It's a small business. They're wonderful people there. There's a guy named Joseph who always answers the phone. He'll help you in any way he can. Their phone number is on this listing right here. Here's the phone number. Call them up. Tell them you're doing tabletop photography. You want a tent. You want some backdrops, backgrounds, gradient paper, and you want a 3-light setup. And they'll send it all to you, and it's going to cost you a few $100, but it's worth it. All right? They know what they're doing. Okay? Don't try to reinvent the wheel on this one. Okay? Cameras. There's no reason in the world with today's technology to spend more than $400 for a really good camera for tabletop shooting on eBay. We use the Canon PowerShot SX50HS. It is a phenomenal camera and takes incredibly sharp pictures, and they're under $400, $320. And it has all the manual settings you will ever need for eBay photography. We like Canons better than Nikon. We think the color is better. Okay, that's why we use them. If you like Nikons, use them. All right. Learn to use the camera properly. Don't just turn it on and use auto settings for everything. Your colors won't be right. You're going to have problems. Learn how to do manual adjustments. It's well worth the effort. The manuals will tell you how to do it. Learn how to white balance, all that. Taking pictures, okay? Take numerous pictures, never 2 or 3 or 4. Take dozens, okay? We take 12 to 25 or 40, all right, sometimes. Okay, do not ever take a picture of the cluttered background. Do not shoot it on an ironing board with your laundry or, a window behind it and an open refrigerator. Shoot it with a nice clean background. Make it look professional. Use good lights, okay? Never, ever, ever put up a blurred image. No blurred images. Always check your pictures in a photo viewer before you put them up, and if they're flowered, if they're fuzzy at all, dump them and retake the picture. It's worth it. There's a macro lens that looks like a flower. It's a little icon in every camera. It'll take care of it for you. All right? And this is why you want to take good pictures, okay? Digital cameras today have a natural curve in the lens. And if you're too close to the object, you get pictures like the one on the left. This was a jar we bought for under $600 from a seller that was probably worth $8,000 to $12,000, okay? The picture on the left is his picture. The picture on the right is our picture, also shot with a digital camera, but on a tripod using the zoom. So the lens distortion is gone, and the lighting, this is Alzo Lighting's effects. This is, I don't know what he was using. A lamp, he took the shade off a lamp and just took the picture. All right. This was his picture, shot under a skylight. I found out this was ours, and so forth. The pictures on the right are our pictures. The pictures on the left are his. All right. He would have gotten a lot of money for this vase if he'd just taken the time to take good pictures and learn how to use his camera. So in a nutshell, be sure to list your item in the right category. Take good, clear, big photos. Take big pictures. Remember, always remember to use at least a 900 pixel image. Do not use 4 and 5 or 600. 600 is about the minimum that eBay allows. We go a third bigger. Nice big pictures. Write simple, honest, accurate descriptions. Don't get fancy. Don't pretend to be an expert unless you are. Offer to ship everywhere. Use simple templates. Run your auctions for the maximum duration of 10 days. Do 10-day auctions. Start them on Thursday nights or Friday and end them the following Sunday or Monday. Do not start auctions in the middle of the week and end them in the middle of the week 2 weeks later. You're losing money, okay? Just trust me on that. The biggest audience eBay has is on auction closings for Asian antiques is Sunday and Monday. Use low opening bids with no reserves and have fun doing it. Have fun. Use your common sense. Pay attention to other sellers' listings to get your attention and tempt you to buy. See what other people are doing. Copy them, okay? And lastly, communication. If a buyer messages you about something, or potential buyer, answer him. Answer him as quickly as you can, for God's sake. Okay, you want them to buy from you. If you create a nice auction listing and you forget something, or they have an honest question, what's it going to cost to ship it to Australia? Answer them and tell them how much it's going to cost and thank them for inquiring, okay? It happens, and very often the people who ask questions end up being your big buyer, okay? Very often, okay? And also they will remember that you answered them nicely, and they might become a regular customer, okay? So that's basically it, all right? But come over to this blog on Bidamount and take a look, and I hope it's helpful to you. And if you have any questions or have problems selling on the site, let us know. We'll try to help you out. All righty. Bye-bye.